This is as groovy as it gets.
Oprah, Can You Hear Me? Oprah vs. Donald 2020 is a conversation by Julie Benetti and Susan Barbaro and a production of EI Alliance, copyright 2019. America is courtesy of New Threads off their new album, Felonious Wilma. Hi, this is Julie and I'm back. We're back. Susan's here as well. Did you miss me? Did you miss us?
Oprah, can you hear me? Because we've stopped talking about Oprah.
Right, in another installment of our Oprah, Can You Hear Me? Oprah versus Donald 2020, cough, cough. We're using reverse psychology in this one. We're not even going to talk about Oprah.
Well, there's nothing to talk about.
There isn't.
She's got to be just... I mean, really, how many cauliflower recipes can you look up, for Christ's sake?
I don't know. There was some other thing I saw in the news. She was getting involved in everything but the presidency. Right?
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good.
That was so good. But the real question I have is, you having a good time, Susan?
We're having a great time.
What a great question that is. And who comes out and coins it?
But Mr. Donald Trump.
That's right. You having a good time, Joe.
Joe. You know, the funny thing is, Donald Trump reveals himself many times, you know, in different things. And everyone looks at him a certain way. And, you know, even my own kids say, we stop throwing out that we don't know him and we haven't met him. They say, stop saying that. But I have to say it because what I'm about to say is it's like he reveals a different side of himself. It's almost like he wants to have fun. He's like the little kid that goes out there and wants to play. And hey, Joe, you having fun? And it's you know, at the end of the day, it's really kind of what we all want to do. Everything we do, we sit there and don't we want to have fun? And nobody wants to have fun. Right. Everyone's so serious and life is so serious and it's all about you're going to be the more powerful one. You're the winner.
Right, there you go.
And God, it gets so freaking boring.
It does. It does. And, you know, the funny part about this question that, you know, he kind of submitted to everybody, and I don't know how many people got it, yet, you know, it's a direct lead right back to the debates when they interviewed him. And they said, how do you think he did? Well, I'm having fun. I'm having a good time. And, you know, there's something to that because, sure, you're the leader of the free world. You're the president. And back then, we know at the debates, you know, there was a question as to if that would occur. Yet he was still saying, I'm having fun. And now, in this, it's really about the coinage of that phrase fun. I mean, who would think of a political debate as fun? And it always takes me back to that. And, you know, this is a sad thing that I'm going to kind of segue to, but, you know, you see all the things that other big name celebrities are doing, and you think they're really having fun? Is it for fun? Is it for guilt? Is it because they're serious? Is it they feel like, you know, they're part of the Illuminati and they have to make their impression on the world and the people of the world? Who knows? Who cares, right?
So are you having fun doing this podcast?
Of course I am.
I am too. I'm having a ball.
Why would we be doing it?
And actually,
that's a really good point to go to, because if you're not having fun, why would you be doing it?
Well, people do it for many reasons. I mean, and that's, you know, you could go into a million guilt. You're told this is what you have to do. This is the hard work to get to where you need to be. And, you know, we have this conversation all the time about work, real work. I mean, you and I both have work histories of things we've done in the past. And it's like, yeah, it was work because it was freaking boring. And it was just didn't have what we're doing now is actually some of the hardest work I've ever done, really going depth and trying to go to the depth of different things and understanding things different and then finding the words. We even struggle sometimes with the vocabulary. So it's a lot of work, but it is the most exciting things that we do. When we hear these things, and we were talking earlier about the idea of fun, and that, you know, when you go out and you do something and you work really hard, but it's something you love, it's always fun. And that is really when you do your best work because it's what you love and you work harder because you want to. And wouldn't you think that that's what everybody would want to do? And the energy, because we talk about energy, behind that is so much more powerful than the old stodgy, I got to do it this way because this is what I have to do, and then I have to do this, and then I have to talk to this, and blah, 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 blah.
Well, there's the rules rather than the enjoyment factor of it.
And it almost sounds like Trump is looking for someone to have fun with. It's almost, and we're going to, I can compare, we were talking earlier with what he's saying, the run for president compared to what he loves to do, playing golf. You got to imagine he gets out there and says, all right, Joe Biden, if he's playing golf with him, like, I'll show you, watch this hit. What are you going to get, a bogey? You're going to get it in the dirt? You're going to get it whatever? You got to imagine. I mean, I've played, games, you've played, and when you do, you kind of joke around with whoever you're playing with. Let's see you get yourself out of this one. Or that's camaraderie. That's actually part of the game, is the fun of it. And I would think that Trump is looking for someone to push him because he wants to be pushed and he wants to see what he can do. And there's nobody else out there. Right. And I'm not saying Joe Biden is the one, but you would think Oprah would have been a perfect one to play games with, to play the game with.
That's it leads to a funny question because, here, okay, I'm not going to say we don't know her, but I just said it. Yet, can she have fun? Yeah. I mean, can she have fun? If she can't have fun, that's a big question he asked. You having a good time, Joe? And, there are a lot of meanings to that because, sure, you can relate it to the situations that he's gone through and the same that Joe, blah, blah, blah. Or you can relate it to, perfect example that you gave about golf because really he's competing with himself. Right. Yet he's having fun with whoever he's playing with. And so in the debates, it's classic going back to the debates, and even that, the news, quote unquote, brought out that this quote occurred, while he was he at a rally or something like that, and he was even polling the rally to see what the new phrase should be for the 2020 election for him. And so, here's the epitome of someone, the leader of the free world, here we go, the president who's, we've said over and over again, revolutionized and changed the playing field of the presidency and what the requirements are to a degree and what the people see as the requirements and how the people react.
So, I equate it to an artist. If you love art, whatever that is, if you can draw, sketch, painter, or musician, or, writer, whatever it is, that is your passion. You want to do it because it's so much freaking fun to do it, and you work so hard, and you could be up all night or all day, and it just stays with you. And we've written books, so sometimes we'll sit there and scream at each other, and we're ready to kill each other. But then we're done. We're like, oh my god, this is awesome! It came out in a way that who knew that it came out the way it did. And I'm talking about us because I can. We push each other. And we fight with each other, and I'm like, no, you can't say that, or you'll say you can't get away with that, and I'm like, and then all of a sudden it comes out. But you want that when you're really in what you love. You want somebody who is at that level or above you to push you. Right. I always joke with you. You're a tennis player. Playing with me, it'd kill you. You should be out there with Serena Williams. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I know, but you know what I'm saying. Somebody who's like really going to make you step it up, because that's what we all want, is to do better and learn. Who the heck wants to do, I'm going to say it, the same thing you already did? I know. Especially when you were at the top of your game. Right. You're going to come back? Right. It's like, where's the growth and learning in that? Right. But I would think that, and that's what he's doing. And at one point, there was a joke on the radio, and they listed all these other candidates, or it was actually during the basketball
Final Four.
Yeah, and it was a joke on the radio. You called up, and it was like they gave the name, and you had to decide are they a presidential candidate or are they a basketball player.
Oh God!
And the idea behind it, the funny part is there's so many. I don't even know all the candidates, all the Democratic. The big ones, the ones that everybody knows that have run in the past. Blah blah blah. And I got to believe that Trump's sitting here saying, like, come on, someone. He's almost going to be, please send me someone that's going to make this fun for me. Otherwise, it's freaking boring. And I would suggest if it's the same old who shows up. I bet you when it comes down to when it gets down to just the two candidates, or three depending on independent party, but let's just go with two. The Republican candidate, which would be Trump, and then the Democratic candidate. I bet you he doesn't even show up for the frickin' the debates if they have one. He'll be like, I'm not going. This is stupid. I'm bored.
I think he did that to one, and the ratings were poor, and he showed them the ratings were poor. But I have to say it's funny because as you were saying something, I kind of leaped somewhere, which I often do, but I was still listening, and I thought, he's polling everybody in his rallies for what the new slogan will be. He's going to start polling people in his rallies for, do you want to run for president? You look kind of interesting. Do you want to run for president? You look kind of interesting.
Maybe Julie Benetti will run for president.
No. I'm having fun doing this. So there you go. Because, if you're not having a good time, there is something to that. And granted, we all have, different situations we have to go through and yada, 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 whatever, that we have to do what we're doing or whatever to get somewhere. Yet, there's also an aspect of kind of just being present and being in the energy and acknowledging that and having a good time. And again, it's funny because our podcasts are about energy, and that's cool because that's what we talk about. And so addressing this question that he made, you could take it, and the quote-unquote news people could take it, and the commentators could take it a whole nother angle, but that's not where we take it.
No.
We take it to the real, you kind of break down the question itself.
Well, because we have a different perspective. Exactly. We have a different perspective. And, it's funny because I would have thought, that this would be something that would be fun for Oprah. I mean, going back and doing the same thing she's been doing for 20 or 30 years has got to be eating away at her. Like, at what point? Again, how many times can you skin a cat? It's a terrible expression, but I mean...
Well, and even getting involved in the different platforms that she is now, without mentioning them, it's like how many, speeches can you do? How many things can you get involved in? And, it would be it would be interesting, and I think it would be kind of an alert to President Trump if, she came out and said, I'm going to see and do a couple of rallies myself and see if they are fun. And it would be like, whoa, wait a minute. Is there somebody
it would be
here?
Fun because I would think it's forcing her to do something that she hasn't done before, which is not moving out of, the self-help. I'm going to quote, and I'm going to say this and you're going to laugh. Move her out of self-help and move her into self-improvement, which is another podcast we're doing on our ancient text, talking about the difference that back in the day, it was self-improvement.
Right.
Somehow it got a little bit mishmash, and now it's self-help, which is what we've had conversations, outside of the podcast. And I would think for her, it would be like, oh, this is going to feel good. It's like it's like recreating yourself. And like, that's always, at least for me, that's always what I find fun, is recreating myself and relearning, or I say relearning because that's what I believe we're always doing. We're not actually learning. We're just relearning what we know. But for me to find something new about myself, to venture out and try something different and put myself out there and see how things go, that, at least to me, is the freaking funnest thing in the world. When I do the same thing, I'm like, I've done this. I can do it. I want to do something different. And that's why I think when we started doing these podcasts, because we thought for her, she's been in self-help. It's like, let's jump to self-improvement.
Right. And, you're addressing a definition of fun, which, granted, it's different for everybody. Yet, a lot of people are out there searching for more. And, when you're searching for more, a lot of times that addresses your own, self-awareness, obviously. And yes, like you said, your own self-improvement. And, to go into the same old, and we've said this a number of times, we don't even want to repeat it, gets really boring. And when you look at Mr. Trump, I mean, he didn't, I'm kind of waiting anxiously, and probably we could offer some suggestions, but we really don't go in that direction of what his name is going to be for, Joe Biden. But when he just comes out with, you having a good time, you can read that many ways. And there's a little bit of, sarcasm in there. There's a little bit of fun. There's a little bit of, hey, welcome to my arena, if that's really what you want. Yet, oftentimes in all the podcasts that we do, it is an understanding of what the reaction is to that. And somebody who doesn't approach it as, yeah, I'm having fun, that's kind of doesn't become, his competition.
What's interesting is, the whole idea of self-help was built upon the premise that there was something that was wrong. And the whole idea of self-improvement is based on the idea that everything is good, but let's do it a little bit better. Let's expand upon this, which is so empowering. Right. It's not that you need to be fixed, which is what everybody hears. And that's, we have conversations of people that we know around that they got to fix it. You got to fix it. And what if we all came here and there's nothing to fix? We all came here and now it's just expanding and learning and experimenting for who we are. And, that's what I would think he would be saying. It's like, hey, let's go have fun. Let's see let me see what you got.
Right. And it's a good way that you put it that way, because it made me think of when you go to play sports, whether it be tennis or I don't play golf, yet, it's kind of along the same lines that, you don't go and get muscle enhancements and, surgery in order to play tennis better. You improve yourself. You work on your forehand, your backhand, your serve. You work on those things. And so there's self-improvement in that, in the process of learning and having fun and playing the game. And so again, if this is, he plays golf, he has golf courses. Yeah. We can't be blind to what he's doing. Hello. So, when he's asking, you having a good time, Joe? What's the answer?
Thank you for listening to this production from EI Alliance. Check out our Amazon authors pages for books and podcasts, along with our Donald Trump and Oprah books for this series. Find great music by New Threads on iTunes, Spotify, and on newthreads.us.